These are the 10 craziest tragic ends to celebrity careers the world has ever seen. And number 8 will shock you. Number 10. Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury, the legendary frontman of Queen, is often remembered as one of the most electrifying performers in rock history. Where to begin? His powerful voice, magnificent stage presence, and incredible talent made him an icon. Queen, the band he led, became one of the biggest rock acts in the world, with hits that have stood the test of time.
And that was the first thing that I picked up from that, was that your own idea to do all that stuff?
Oh yes, yeah. We just about do all our own production. We have Roy Baker, who sort of co-produces with us, and all the 4 albums have been a co-production.
Songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, with its beautiful operatic sections, redefined what a rock song could be. We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You became anthems heard in stadiums around the world. Somebody to Love is evidence of Mercury's incredible vocal range and emotional depth. His ability to connect with audiences and his theatrical style set him apart from the rest. Freddie Mercury's life was tragically cut short when he died of bronchopneumonia.
At 7:01, Dr. Gordon Atkinson pronounced Freddie Mercury dead, attributing his death to bronchopneumonia.
This happened as a result of a complication resulting from AIDS at the age of 45. Freddie had kept his battle with AIDS so private. He only confirmed he had the disease a day before he passed away in November 1991. Mercury had continued to perform and record despite his declining health. Number 9. Robin Williams. Robin Williams was a beloved comedian and actor. His career started with stand-up comedy, where his quick improv skills and larger-than-life personality was quickly known.
Before I go on, I want to ask, are there any Hells Angels here tonight? Those pussy whip faggots.
Williams transitioned from stand-up and television to the big screen. Right there and then, it was evident that this man had range. He starred in a lot of films that showed how great he was at blending comedy and drama. In Mrs. Doubtfire, Williams brought warmth and humor to the story of a father that disguises himself as a nanny to stay close to his children after a divorce. In Dead Poets Society, he played an inspiring and unconventional English teacher who encourages his students to seize the day and embrace their passions. These roles, among many others, are enough to prove that Williams has incredible range. In August 2014, at the age of 63, he died by suicide.
If you're that depressed, reach out to someone. And remember, suicide is a permanent solution to temporary problems.
Williams had been battling severe depression, which was later linked to Lewy body dementia, a neurodegenerative disease that had been misdiagnosed as Parkinson's disease. Lewy body dementia is a particularly cruel disease, affecting both cognitive and physical abilities and often leading to profound changes in mood and behavior. Williams' widow, Susan Schneider Williams, revealed that he had been experiencing an intensifying array of symptoms that included anxiety, depression, and paranoia, alongside physical issues. Number 8. Judy Garland. Judy Garland, born Frances Ethel Gumm, started her career at a very young age. She was performing with her sisters in a vaudeville act known as the Gumm Sisters. However, it was her signing with MGM and roles in films that really got her to be popular. Garland's most popular role was as Dorothy in the 1939 classic The Wizard of Oz. Her performance, especially her rendition of Over the Rainbow, is one of the most memorable in the history of film. It showed the world her incredible singing and also her ability to bring warmth and emotion to her characters. She died sadly at the age of 47 from an accidental barbiturate overdose. Garland's battle with addiction was well documented, and her dependency on drugs began early in her career. Studio executives reportedly supplied her with stimulants to keep her energy levels high for grueling schedules, and then gave her barbiturates to help her sleep. Her health issues were compounded by mental health struggles, including severe anxiety and depression. She faced significant financial difficulties throughout her life, often caused by poor management and her own generous nature. Number 7. Prince. Prince Rogers Nelson, or Prince as we all know him, was a legendary singer, songwriter, musician, and record producer. Born on June 7, 1958 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Prince showed off his musical talent at a very young age. He dropped his first album, For You, in 1978, and by the 80s, he was a global superstar.
Y'all wanna sing tonight?
Prince was famous for mixing funk, rock, pop, and R&B, and he was an amazing guitarist with a super energetic stage presence. Albums like 1,999 Inches, 1982, Purple Rain, 1984, and Sign of the Times, 1987, made him a music icon.
This is indeed a great honor and a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting this.
Purple Rain especially was a massive hit. On April 21, 2016, Prince was found unresponsive in an elevator at his Paisley Park estate in Chanhassen, Minnesota. He was just 57 years old. The autopsy revealed he had died from an accidental overdose of fentanyl, a powerful opioid painkiller. It later came out that he had been dealing with severe pain from years of performing, which likely led to his reliance on painkillers. Number 6. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was a musical powerhouse. She has one of the most iconic voices of all time. Born on August 9, 1963 in Newark, New Jersey, she was destined for stardom. Her mother, Cissy Houston, was a gospel singer, and her cousins, Dionne Warwick and Dee Dee Warwick, were renowned musicians. With such a crazy, rich musical past, Whitney's talent was nurtured from an early age.
I've been working in the studio since I was 12. I've been working professionally since I was 12 years old.
Houston's rise to fame was wild. Her self-titled debut album, released in 1985, was a massive hit, featuring chart-topping singles like Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know, and Greatest Love of All. The album sold millions of copies and won her several awards, including a Grammy.
It's so great to be here.
She wasn't just a singer. She was a phenomenon. In 1992, she went into acting with her role in The Bodyguard, starring alongside Kevin Costner. The film's soundtrack, featuring her iconic cover of Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You, became one of the best-selling soundtracks of all time. On February 11, 2012, Whitney Houston was found dead in a hotel bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills, California. She was 48 years old. The official cause of death was drowning, with heart disease and chronic cocaine use listed as contributing factors. Whitney's substance abuse had been public knowledge for years.
Is it alcohol? Is it marijuana? Is it cocaine? Is it pills?
It has been, at times.
All?
At times.
Her marriage to Bobby Brown, a fellow musician, was marked by accusations of drug abuse and domestic violence, further adding to her problems. Number 5. Tupac Shakur. Tupac Shakur, known simply as Tupac, was a great figure in the world of hip-hop and rap. His lyrics often showed the harsh realities of life in the inner city, addressing issues such as poverty, violence, and systemic racism. Tupac's rise to fame began in the early 1990s. His debut solo album, Tupacalypse Now, 1991, got attention for its raw and honest portrayal of urban life. He could easily tell compelling stories through his music. He was deeply connected to the struggles of the African American community and used his platform to speak out against injustice.
You know what I'm saying? It's that situation when you got, we are living in a war zone. It's easy as these people are making us think that they just got some criminal-ass black kids with guns.
Tupac Shakur's life was cut tragically short on September 13, 1996, when he died from gunshot wounds inflicted during a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada. He was 25 years old. The circumstances surrounding his death remain mysterious, as there are numerous theories and speculations about who was responsible and why. The night of the shooting, Tupac was attending a Mike Tyson boxing match at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. After the match, he was involved in a fight with a gang member in the hotel lobby. Later that night, while in a car with Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, Tupac was shot multiple times by an unidentified person in a white Cadillac. He succumbed to his injuries 6 days later. Number 4. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman was known for his intense performances across a lot of genres. Hoffman's big break came in the 1990s with supporting roles in films like Scent of a Woman, 1992, and Boogie Nights, 1997. His ability to disappear into his characters made him a standout performer. Hoffman's range was impressive. He could move seamlessly from dramatic roles in films like Doubt, 2008, and The Master, 2012, to more commercial fare like the Hunger Games series, where he played the enigmatic Plutarch Heavensbee.
Show them that she is one of us now.
However, Hoffman struggled with addiction. On February 2, 2014, he was found dead in his New York City apartment from a heroin overdose. He was 46 years old. Hoffman had been open about his battles with substance abuse.
This was drugs or alcohol or both? Yes, all that stuff.
He first sought treatment for addiction in his early 20s and maintained sobriety. However, in 2012, he relapsed and entered rehab for heroin addiction. Number 3. Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse was a British singer-songwriter. Her soulful voice and deeply personal lyrics made her one of the greats of her generation. Born on September 14, 1983, in London, she grew up in a family with a strong appreciation for jazz music. This influenced her musical style. Her second album, Back to Black, 2006, threw her to international fame. The album, produced by Mark Ronson, featured hits like Rehab, You Know I'm No Good, and Back to Black. It earned her 5 Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year and Best New Artist. Winehouse's raw, emotional delivery and retro sound was supported by audiences worldwide. On July 23, 2011, Amy Winehouse was found dead in her London home at the age of 27. The cause of death was later determined to be alcohol poisoning. She had a blood alcohol level more than 5 times the legal limit. Winehouse's struggles with addiction had been a central theme in her music and public persona. Songs like Rehab and Addicted showed her relationship with substance abuse. Number 2. Marilyn Monroe. Born Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1, 1926, in Los Angeles, California, her rise to fame began in the late 1940s. Her big break came with roles in films like The Asphalt Jungle, 1950, and All About Eve, 1950. But it was her performances in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953, and How to Marry a Millionaire, 1953, that made her a major star. Her portrayal of the dumb blonde was cleverly done, allowing her to dominate the box office and win the hearts of audiences. One of her most celebrated roles came in 1959 with Some Like It Hot, a comedy directed by Billy Wilder. Monroe's performance as the lovable and ditzy Sugar Cane remains a highlight of her career. On August 5, 1962, Marilyn Monroe was found dead in her Brentwood, Los Angeles home at the age of 36. The official cause of death was an overdose of barbiturates, but the circumstances surrounding her death have been the subject of speculation and conspiracy theories for decades. Some believe it was an accidental overdose. Others suggest foul play. They point to her connections with powerful figures like President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy. Number 1. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was a remarkably talented actor. He took on a variety of roles, pushing his range and depth as an actor. However, it was his role as the Joker in The Dark Knight, 2008, that broke the barriers. Ledger's Joker was chilling and mesmerizing. He earned a posthumous Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor.
BAFTA goes to Heath Ledger.
It was a performance that redefined the character and set a new standard for portrayals of comic book villains. Tragically, Heath Ledger died on January 22, 2008, at the age of 28. Ledger was found unresponsive in his New York City apartment, and it was later determined that he had died of an accidental overdose of prescription medications, including painkillers, anti-anxiety drugs, and sleeping pills. Ledger had been in the midst of editing The Dark Knight and had completed filming for the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. The loss was felt deeply, not only because of his immense talent, but also because he had so much more to offer.